This year, PBS celebrated the life of the first African-American Supreme Court Justice, Thurgood Marshall, who paved the way for many to follow. But did you know how many important African-American firsts happened here in Louisiana, setting the stage for him? I visited the new exhibit, A More Perfect Union, at Louisiana's old state capitol, where you can learn more about how African-Americans in Louisiana helped set the stage for advances on a national scale. The Civil War had just ended, and Louisiana was considered a testing ground for policies to bring the rebel states back into the Union.
President Abraham Lincoln really saw Louisiana as what could be the model for the rest of the country.
A unique time as black men were voting, holding office, and writing a unique constitution integrating schools, all done nearly 1 century before the rest of the country. A More Perfect Union is now a permanent exhibit at the old state capitol, telling the story of Reconstruction after the Civil War.
We're really proud of it. It talks about a period in history that very few people really know a lot about.
Mary DeRusso is the director of the old state capitol and explains that time in Louisiana immediately following the Civil War.
Abraham Lincoln pointed out that Louisiana had passed a constitution that was going to mandate education for black and white children.
Louisiana was changing fast, with newly freed black men being allowed to vote, hold office, and influence policy.
Sadly, it doesn't happen because Abraham Lincoln talks about that in his last speech from the White House, and John Wilkes Booth hears it. 3 days later, Abraham Lincoln is dead, and the future of our country changes completely.
One important exhibit focuses on new amendments. The rewriting of the 1868 Louisiana Constitution started an integration of Louisiana schools nearly 100 years before the rest of the country.
This illustrates the 3 critical pieces of legislation that came out of Reconstruction. So the 13th Amendment abolishes slavery. The 14th Amendment grants citizenship to anyone who's born in the United States. So that is where the concept of birthright citizenship begins. The 15th Amendment clarifies that the right to vote can't be denied due to race, color, or any previous condition of servitude.
Another major part of the new exhibit highlights the rise of black politicians in the short time after the Civil War, like C.C. Antoine, who served as lieutenant governor and became a state senator, and a man named PBS. Tell me about PBS Pinchback.
He was the second African-American governor in the state, and he served as the first black governor, but it was a very short period of time. So many things happened during Reconstruction in such a very short period of time. The war ends. Lincoln is shot. Black people are coming into their own in the political sphere and being elected to office.
Displays also show the violent backlash that followed those initial gains. Powerful artifacts from the personal sword of Governor Pinchback to the chilling sight of a KKK robe. It was a literal fight over progress and resistance.
It's got the good and the bad and the ugly, and some of it's very chilling, but it's a very fair exhibit and very hands-on, and got some wonderful photographs and some good explanations.
Federal troops were even called to protect black voters from white supremacist violence, which often turned Louisiana into a battleground for competing visions of post-war society. And that historical information is finally on display.
I think it's great because there's a lot of information that we're not really aware of regarding what happens after the Civil War. And I think it'll be great for students to come by and take a look at the history of Louisiana and the role Louisiana played.
Patrons from around the world and the locals are seeing the exhibit and learning a crucial part of Louisiana history. What do you think about the old state capitol?
It's my most favorite building in the whole state. I don't know any other building that's this beautiful.
Well, I always appreciate history. I love history. I think, especially when it comes to the Civil War, especially what comes after, it's really talked a lot. So I would love to have this exhibit so that more people can learn what happened afterwards.
To see where the battle for equality truly began, you can now get a first-hand view at Louisiana's old state capitol. A More Perfect Union exhibit is free to the public and now a permanent part of the Louisiana Old State Capitol Museum. And you can stream Becoming Thurgood, America's Social Architect, from our partners at Maryland Public Television. It's all free at pbs.org.